Today I'm going to be rebuilding my old Husqvarna 61 chainsaw from 1981. I already cleaned up the saw as much as I could, removed the old cylinder and the carburetor. And I have already installed the new piston, and here you see the new cylinder I'm going to install compared to the old original one. And here you see the old piston. It's pretty seized up due to too much heat. It didn't run enough oil in the gas, so it got hot and yeah, stopped running. I have a new gasket, new cylinder, new spark plug, and I already installed the new piston. I just need the circlips installed. Now with the circlips installed on the piston, I was on my way to install the new cylinder when I discovered the angle of the intake is slightly off. So now I'm going to try and sand it down a bit to level out the surface so no air can find its way into the intake.
I watched the world float to the dark side of the moon. After all, I knew it had to be something to do with you. I really don't mind what happens now and then, as long as you'll be my friend at the end. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my...
And to make sure there's no metal shavings in the cylinder, I removed the paper I put in there and I sprayed with compressed air to make sure it's all gone. And when I have sprayed it with compressed air, I sprayed with brake cleaner to be even more sure that it's all gone, so I don't have a problem when I start it up for the first time.
Strong, you call me weak, but still your secrets I will keep. You took for granted all the times I never let you down. You stumbled in and bumped your head. If not for me, then you'd be dead. I picked you up and put you back on solid ground. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
Now that I'm sure the cylinder is clean, it's ready to be installed on the piston.
You by my side with my superhuman mind, Kryptonite. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by my side with my superhuman mind, Kryptonite. Yeah! If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well.
And because a two-stroke chainsaw like this runs at very high RPMs, I apply a bit of Loctite to make sure that the bolts stay in place.
Kryptonite.
after that was done, I proceeded to check the fuel line and the fuel filter to make sure that nothing was clogged up or rotten away. Sometimes these old fuel lines get very rotten and soft, so it's hard for them to bring up fuel to the intake or carburetor. But this fuel line and fuel filter was very good. As you see on this picture, it looks very good. It was exchanged for a couple of years ago, so that was nice. And then I finished off blowing the hose to make sure there was nothing in there. So now that I have gotten the cylinder installed, I'm going to show you the new carburetor I bought for this thing. Together with the carburetor, I bought 2 new gaskets and a new spacer, because the one that was originally on the old cylinder is reversed from the new cylinder. So I had to buy new spacers, and this old intake you bolt onto the cylinder and then bolt on the carburetor to the intake. But the new build is going to be with just 2 screws, and then I'm bolting it all together to the cylinder like it's done on newer models. So I actually don't know how many years they did that, but the rebuild kits and the new cylinders is not made for that, so I had to buy all this new. And because I sanded down the cylinder, I'm going to apply this to the original gasket. Because of course the surface is not 100% in angle, it's hard to do by hand and sandpaper. So I'm applying this to make sure no air finds its way into the intake.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. In Cobain, can you hear the spheres singing songs off station to station? And Alderon's not far away, it's Californication.
Okay, so installing the carburetor was a bit of a struggle. Yeah, that's the disadvantage of working with aftermarket parts. But this one wouldn't fit, so I couldn't get the carburetor in if this was on. So I had to leave this out, and the gasket for this is also too big when installed to this new carburetor and set up. So the intake wouldn't get low enough to reach the bolt in here. But it's okay to run it without it. I'll just clean it frequently, and that's good. And here you can see the sealant I applied to make sure that after I sanded it down that no air gets in. So that looks very good. To screw this in, I had to remove the safety button or stop button. So that's a good opportunity for me to clean it out to make sure it works properly. So now the saw is actually fully built, or nearly. It's ready for the startup, which I'll do tomorrow. What I had to do was file off a bit on this one because it was hitting the plastic throttle here. So I just took a bit off. So now it's going smooth and is ready for startup. Okay, I just discovered the reason why they were rattling loose. It's due to these being imperial sized, and the sizes in the cylinder is metric. And I found that out when exchanging the intake. I had to buy 2 new metric bolts. And it's the same with these. I can reuse these from the old cylinder. Yeah, they are a bit too small due to the difference in metric and imperial sizing. So on these old saws, they used imperial sizes. But the new cylinder is in metric, so I just have to get 2 newer these.